And welcome back to the GSMC Baseball Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Moving into our third segment here, which is going to be talking about Royce Lewis and his season for the Minnesota Twins. So yeah, we'll be going over that, and let's get into it. So, Royce Lewis came up last year and really just dominated immediately. Had a fantastic short sample size of a season. And then in the playoffs was even better. They were playing the Blue Jays in the Wild Card Series, of course, and Lewis absolutely broke out, hitting so many clutch hits in that series on their way to sweep the Blue Jays. And yeah, has just been a player of a lot of promise for a long, long time for the Twins. Was drafted first overall in 2017. Dealt with so many injuries in the minor leagues, and I think Twins fans at some point were wondering, would this guy ever become a difference maker in the major leagues? Would he ever come up? Would he ever become, again, a significant player in this league? And the answer is yes. He's done an absolutely fantastic job, not just last year, but has put it together this year, and has done great. I mean, again, he has started off with an injury this year in his first game versus the Royals when he went 2 for 2, I think, to start off with. He did end up having a oblique strain and was out for a significant part of the season, and did just come back a few weeks ago. But still, has put it together now, has played a good amount of games this year and has been great. I mean, has played in 14 games this year. He has 57 plate appearances and has an OPS of 1.339, an OPS plus of 272, and has just been absolutely amazing. And has really been a big part of this Twins team. So these stats are courtesy from Jeff Passan. Lewis in 90 Major League games, postseason included, 315, 388, 627, 30 home runs, and 365 plate appearances. And Royce Lewis, again, just 25 years old. A first overall player a few years ago, has all the talent in the world, and it's just for him about putting it together, getting healthy, and once he does that, I mean, there's really no stopping what Royce Lewis can do and what his potential can end up being. So, yeah, if I'm a Twins fan, I'm very excited about where he can go in the future and what's going to end up happening with him and how he ends up playing. Yeah, I think Royce Lewis has the potential to be a superstar, and I'm very, very excited to end up seeing what does happen with him and what exciting things are in his future. So, with this Twins team, I think Royce Lewis really helps them a lot. He was really the big reason why they ended up moving on from longtime middle infielder Jorge Polanco and trading him to the Seattle Mariners. So, yeah, Lewis is obviously in the future plans of the Minnesota Twins and can end up being a really special player if he can avoid injury and keep it all together like he has tried these past few years. Again, injuries are the biggest thing. Most of his injuries have been pretty freak injuries, but at the same time, still they have happened, so you need to be able to control them. And the Twins already have too many injury-prone stars like Byron Buxton, Carlos Correa, and I'm sure they'd like Royce Lewis to stay healthy. Just imagine one healthy season of Byron Buxton. I mean, he would have been an MVP in that year. I'm sure they're hoping that's not the case with Royce Lewis. So, I mean, looking at this Twins infield, it's pretty insane. I mean, you have Royce Lewis at third for the significant future, Carlos Correa at short, Eduardo Julian at second, and then also you have Carlos Santana, Jose Miranda at first base. So a lot of depth within this middle infield, this infield in general, and Lewis is really a big part of that. Again, a guy who has played a significant part in this Twins team and should play a significant part in the Twins' future. And overall, he's going to end up being a fantastic player for this team, and really is going to end up being a guy who just really provides a lot of value for the Twins down in the future. So I think it's just the matter of fact of, can Royce Lewis put it together? Can he end up being the first overall pick that the Twins wanted? Can he end up putting all these short flashes together into a full season and put the Twins to where they want to go? Because the Twins haven't really been a disappointment this year. I mean, they started off pretty bad, but have been much better as the season has gone on. And I think, again, Lewis has been part of that, coming back. I mean, when he wasn't there, they had guys like Carl Farmer playing significant time in the infield. So now that he has come back, I feel much more confident in this Twins team. And right now, they're second place in AL Central, have taken above the Kansas City Royals, who are off to a great start. Are 6 games behind, yes, but you look at the wild card right now for the AL, Twins are very clearly in that second position behind the Baltimore Orioles, and again, have a lot going for them. Had a very interesting offseason as people were kind of perplexed by what they were doing. I mean, they just lost players. They didn't really add anyone. They let Sonny Gray walk. They let Kenta Maeda walk. They traded Jorge Polanco for a reliever and a prospect. So a lot of fans were very, again, perplexed at what the Twins were doing. It didn't make a lot of sense, but the thing about the Twins was they had so many young players coming up through the system being able to replicate the value of the guys that they were losing, and that's what they have done. Royce Lewis has been great at third base, where Polanco's had a pretty rough start of it in Seattle, so it's worked out there. You've had guys like Simeon Woods Richardson, Bailey Ober, Louis Varland coming in clutch for your rotation. Chris Paddock came back from Tommy John as well, been clutch in your rotation and done a really great job there. So, yeah, overall, this Twins team has a lot going for them, has a really nice, underrated young core that I don't think a lot of people bring up much. So I think that overall, if you're a Twins fan, you're excited about this year. You're excited about what Royce Lewis can do. And yeah, I think that overall there's a lot of talent here on this Twins team. It'll be very, very interesting to see where this team does go in the future. Now, the AL Central is going to be a division to really watch as the season does go on. There's so many good, talented teams within this division, and it is going to be something that is very interesting to watch to see who does end up winning this division. I mean, you of course have the Twins here. You have Kansas City, who has one of the best rotations I've seen in a long, long time for a team. You also have Cleveland, who I talked about in the first segment, who has been absolutely fantastic. So it's really going to be a bloodbath to get to the first place in the AL Central. And the Twins have really good players on their team. Have a lot of talent here, and are very, very exciting to end up seeing what could happen with them. I think a lot of Twins fans know that there's a lot of great talent here, and you should be excited. They haven't had this much hope in a long time. Winning a playoff series last year for the first time in a million years was a big, big booster to this team. And yeah, I think Royce Lewis and this young core of Jose Miranda, Eduardo Julian, guys like that are going to provide a lot for the Twins in the future. And again, Lewis is mainly what I'm trying to focus on here, but it just goes vastly to the Twins. And Lewis, former first overall pick, I still think has a lot of talent, still has the chance to put it all together. And if I'm a Twins fan again, I'd be very, very excited about what is going to end up happening with him. And yeah, just very excited to see. I think when you're looking at the future of this Twins team, not just this year, but the future as well, you get very excited about what you're going to see. And I think a guy like Royce Lewis is going to be at the forefront of that. Once he puts it all together, once he stays healthy for 150 games, something like that, I think Royce Lewis could end up being a very special player and really guide the Twins to where they've wanted to be for the past few years. So, yeah, if I'm a Twins fan again, I'd be excited. Really, if I'm a Minnesota sports fan, I'd be excited. There's a lot going right for them right now. The Timberwolves are doing really well. Wild has a future, I guess. So, Vikings just sending Justin Jefferson. So really, just overall, Minnesota sports fans would be very excited. And as I'm saying this as well, Jose Miranda just hit a home run for the Twins, seeing that notification here from MLB Home Run. So, yeah, a lot to like here if you're a Twins fan, and a lot of good talent here. So, yeah, that is our third segment here, talking about Royce Lewis and the season he is having for the Minnesota Twins. We'll be moving into our fourth segment, which is going to be talking about the pitcher power rankings from MLB and just my overall thoughts on them. Yeah, so this is what MLB did come out with a little while ago today, and I just want to give my general thoughts on it. They come out with these a lot, usually once per week, but I never get a chance to talk about them. But it was kind of a slow news day today, so I did want to give my thoughts on it. So yeah, talk about that, and we'll see you after the break. So thanks, and bye.